Another little story that I am potentially excited for coming in here from MovieWeb is, and this is despite me not knowing much about the character or the movie from 1998, I want to say. This one's all about Spawn Reboot, still having Jamie Foxx in the leading role despite rumours of his exit. Now this is about Spawn. Apparently it was Todd McFarlane who created it. I think he was the guy who did the comics. Been out and speaking and discussing that they had lost an Academy Award winning guy from this reboot, the upcoming reboot. Speculation was then rife that it could be Jamie Foxx. Of course, he won for his portrayal as Ray Charles in Ray, and that got the rumour mill suckling furiously. But he's then subsequently come out and confirmed that it wasn't Jamie Foxx. He's still on board, that it was actually a writer of unknown identity who left the pre-production for this movie. He did say in a quote, "Last week I got some discouraging news. We had an Academy Award winning guy who was going to do the movie with us, but he fell off. We had people willing to fund the movie as long as we had the guy attached, but schedules were conflicting and things had to change. That's how close we got to getting this thing off the ground." But he then goes on to say, "Everybody in Hollywood wants an R-rated dark comic book movie and Spawn is at the top of their list." I doubt that, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, having not had any contacts, not ever stayed in Hollywood. I'm sure this guy knows more than me. He says the phone calls are coming in fast and rapid. I've been talking to a couple of Academy Award people, and I got the investors lined up. It's changed ever since Joker, from being me begging them to do Spawn dark and creepy to them asking. So look, it's very exciting. I didn't know much about the movie. I've done some research on the character. I like the comic books, incidentally. I've had a little gander at some of them. Illustration wise and artistry wise, magnificent as ever. Most comic books are. But first and foremost, I really like the story of this guy Spawn, of this sort of guy dying and he goes to hell. He's an assassin. He makes a sort of bargain with the devil to go back and see his wife and obviously family one last time. When he spawns on Earth as this sort of burnt, hellish figure, he discovers that he has no memory of his life. He subsequently starts to bring it all back together, piece his life back together, goes and sees his wife and finds that she has taken up with his friend. 5 years have passed since his death and she now has a young daughter. And he turns into vigilanteism and doing good when he realises that his power, once it runs out, will send him back to hell for eternity. So that is just ripe for a beautiful story. And he is absolutely right what he says here. It is ripe for an R-rated, dark and creepy movie. I've been willing a movie like this into existence ever since The Crow was a thing back in the 90s. That creepy sort of vibe we got from that. And I suppose we've had little glimpses into this with the likes of Joker and whatnot, but nowhere near enough for me. And I like this new era of comic book movies which are being served up. We've seen it with DC and Warner Brothers. They are increasingly looking to go dark, gritty and violent with R-rated movies. And now we're seeing it here with potentially a new Spawn movie. I've never seen the 98 movie, as I did say. I don't know what it was like. I don't know what rating it had. I don't even know who starred in it. I think it was Michael J. White. I think I read that in the article. So, I mean, having not seen it, I don't really know what to expect other than that brief origin sort of little bit of research that I delved into. But I feel like this is just ripe for a dark R-rated movie. I like the backstory. Obviously casting would be incredibly important around the sort of Jamie Foxx leading role, but Jamie is just an incredible actor and an incredible artist. And guys, a sort of jack of all trades and master of all trades combined into one. He can dance, he can sing, he can rap, he can act. He was absolutely sublime alongside Michael B. Jordan and Just Mercy. And he's proven that he's won an Academy Award. He is magnificent, he can do everything. And I think he's tailor-made for this role. So I'm so glad to see that he hasn't stepped away, that he is still linked to it. He's attaching his name to it. And I'm glad to see that he's really upbeat, this guy, McFarlane. And there's a whole array of studio executives, heads coming to him and pushing, wanting this movie to be made. So hopefully it will happen. Hopefully it will be akin to maybe a Deadpool with some humorous elements in there, in the midst of some dark, violent and gritty action, because that's what I want. I love Logan, I love Deadpool, I love R-rated comic book movies. Give me more of them, man. Give them to me. Give me it, as some people would say here in my city. Not saying who. But look guys, not got much more to add to that. So I'm going to move on to a slightly sombre